Another Sunday afternoon, doing my little casual through the woods hike. Got kind of a little side road here along my property. That's where I usually hike up. Got some trails going up into the woods. I might go up that way. I just know the signal is decent through here because, you know, I'm not on Wi-Fi or anything out here. Try to stick with this trail here, but figuring to do a little live and kind of do some interactions, some discussions. I'm gonna be kind of going into like preparedness stuff and things that I'm working on. I'm kind of curious for 2025, what kind of stuff are you guys what kind of stuff you guys are kind of preparing on this year? I do have some like knife reviews I'm going to be trying to knock out away, but I might be kind of slowing down on knife reviews for a bit and kind of get more into like preparedness, homestead, and gun stuff and everything like that. Got the steel mindset here. Nice looking knife, Falcon. Are you talking about the new one, that Scab? Just tried out. That's my design, the Eagle, and it's a kind of a medium large sax style blade. It's quite a bit bigger than the Falcon is. The Falcon's a small little EDC knife. Then there's my Hawk that's a little bit bigger than the Falcon, which is also what I would consider a EDC knife. And then the Eagle is the big one. So yeah, I'm very happy that Scab got the Eagle before I did, but at the same time, it's like, man, I kind of want my Eagle now. But the post office has been insanely slow in my state. Things will get to Kansas City and sit there for 2 weeks before they'll ever even get out of Kansas City. And yes, the Eagle will be dropping April 25th. I might mention that a few times throughout the stream. So that you guys can know, just kind of keep you guys up to date and stuff. And for people just coming in and stuff, I might be letting you guys know that. And there'll be another drop of the Hawk as well, which is kind of my smaller EDC knife. In case you guys haven't noticed, I am kind of out here hiking in gear and stuff. Got the Helicon Tex chest rig. Got my little 511 chest pack. Got my Glock 26 in here. Got about 10, well, let me think, 8 spare mags on my chest rig. And of course I got my Prancing Pony little carbine out here. Let's I'm not hunting. I'm just out here hiking with some gear on, and that's kind of be something I'm going to be discussing this live stream. Is there's a lot of guys I see getting gear and stuff like that, whether it's a Rudy Tooty Pewty type of gear or you know, tactical type of gear, chest rigs, plate carriers, and all that. But I'm going to say it doesn't do you any good unless if you get out and use it and practice with it and kind of feel how it, you know, works for you and stuff. Because, you know, to be totally honest, I've went through several chest rigs and plate carriers and stuff like that before I found one that, you know, really honestly worked great for me. Thus far, I highly recommend this Helicon Tex chest rig. I really like it. And I'm really liking this 511 little chest pack too. It's a great way to carry stuff out here in the woods and everything like that. Okay, the only thing I would say about society today is support our vets, especially today. They need our help. And yeah, I agree. A lot of vets, I mean, I'm a Marine infantry vet myself, and a lot of vets do go through some BS, especially in the job world. You wouldn't think it, and there's a lot of companies that will say like, oh, we support our troops and stuff, but then I've been denied jobs just because of that too. And so, you know, what they say and what they do are two different things. Yeah, definitely. It's good to hike around with your gear, because it builds a certain kind of strength and muscles and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't realize that. And sometimes when you first put on like a plate carrier or something like that, you might feel like a dysfunctional turtle. And then as you wear it several times and get your body acclimated to it. And you know, that's something else too. I see these movies of like medieval movies and games, and it shows guys in like plate armor and they're all like clunky and dysfunctional and stuff. But when you actually like look up HEMA and professional sword fighter guys, and they're acclimated to wearing armor and actually have armor that fits them correctly, they are very agile and very nimble with that kind of gear on. And so, you know, being acclimated to your gear is very important. And we got one guy from France in here. Thank you. The patrol's going great. I've done a couple videos on that too, talking about how important it is to kind of patrol around your own property, especially if you have property. Learn your property, know what's on it, and kind of just keep an eye on it, because, you know, sometimes when you get out rural like I do, you might have people and or critters trying to get on your property that you don't necessarily want on your property. And I've had meth heads out here poaching before too, because, you know, they use all their welfare to buy meth basically, but then they'll turn around and sneak onto other people's land and poach their deer. So I've had to deal with that before. Makes me sick to my stomach to see how vets are treated today. Well, thank you, Steel Mindset. I know you and Scab and several other guys are great on that. And also kind of something to take note on with the whole veteran thing too. I'm going to go on just a tad bit of a rant here, because there's a lot of guys that'll claim, you know, veteran status and all that, and they might actually be, but the truth of the matter is they don't uphold their word or their honor too. You got guys like Tim Kennedy or Dan Crenshaw who, one, obviously stolen valor and makes up a lot of BS stories like of stuff that they've never actually done, but two, they are anti-American, anti-Constitution, communist scumbags. And we have to remember, Benedict Arnold was a veteran. Benedict Arnold was an American soldier. But the difference between an honorable soldier and a dishonorable traitorous scumbag is one that actually keeps to their oath. And so, you know, anybody that claims veteran but then turns around and wants to take your guns away, or anybody that claims veteran but, you know, wants to stifle the First Amendment or Bill of Rights as a whole, they're not honorable and they're not worthy of your praise. So, yeah. So basically, we got degenerates in here that will say like, oh, if you don't worship daddy government, then you're schizophrenic. But you know what? Guess what? Losers and degenerates like you get blocked. So, cool. You come onto my channel, you abide by my rules. Sorry, I got the sun in my eyes, so it's a little hard to read what you guys are saying here. Yeah, definitely use your stuff, guys. I'm kind of scrolling back a little bit just to kind of see what. And Kennard's in here. He's my twin brother. He's going to be kind of helping out with the channel some too. I got baby number 2 hopping up in this world from the 9-month loading screen before too long. So he's going to be helping out. And yeah, hi guys. Okay, so I guess now that I've been kind of rambling for about 10 minutes, I'm going to be kind of going into some things too. So like I said earlier, I'm going to be kind of getting into some preparedness stuff. And I kind of want you guys to kind of chime in as well. And, you guys chime in as well and tell me, what things are you kind of preparing for 2025? And when I say preparedness, it could be like financial preparedness. It can be, just trying to get things, squared away, or, hey, we see the empire's collapsing. We need to kind of get ready to batten down the hatches, because I personally feel like some things are on the horizon. And I'm not a date setter. I'm not somebody who says like, oh, this is going to happen. I just follow a trend of things and what it looks like is going to happen. So one of the things that I'm trying to prepare for this year is I'm trying to get more of my family and my trusted friends consolidated onto our farm. Because, having like-minded people, but having them 100, 200 miles away, or only knowing them on social media, doesn't really do you much good in real life. Just saying. So having family and friends consolidated, I think, is very important. So, I'm blessed to live out on a farm, and I got the land for it. So recently I got my twin brother to move up here, and we're getting him a house and everything set up. We're getting ourselves a new house set up and everything too. So, my twin brother is going to be my next door neighbor out here on the farm, which I think is going to be very helpful, because not only from a security aspect, but also from a just help around the farm. If any of you guys have ever done a farm or homestead or had livestock and stuff like that, the work never ends. So having some extra set of man hands around is definitely very beneficial. Also, I kind of mentioned it, the security aspect, two guys with guns are better than one guy with a gun. And, something that we kind of put into thought too was, we put in the thought that, okay, if he works days, I'll work nights. So there is one able-bodied, warrior-capable man at the house, farm, homestead at any given time. There was an incident just recently. My wife called me and said, there was some strange guy pulled up in the driveway. I called my twin brother. He was up at my house in less than a minute, which was just like really awesome, having an extra set of security there. Are you at war or are you role playing? Well, I guess you could say role playing, but training is kind of role playing, getting used to your gear. Now, I know some people will get triggered by that, because the truth of the matter is, and I might kind of go into this conversation here, but I think you're seeing a clash of civilization, and the clash is due to something a lot more deeper than what people, I think, realizes. And you got some guys that'll be like, oh my God, you can't have this, and you can't have that big knife, and blah, 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 because my baby boomer billionaire pedophile on the television screen, didn't tell me that I can have that. Well, the reason why you believe that is because you have a slave mindset. You have a peasant mindset. You have a domesticated mindset. So you believe that you are property of somebody else that can tell you what to do. While there's other people, like myself and many others, who are breaking away from that system and do not believe that somebody else owns us, and does not believe that we are subject to a bunch of baby boomer billionaire pedophiles in Washington, D.C., or wherever for that matter, because we're non-domesticated humans. And so you're seeing a clash of domesticated humans and non-domesticated humans. That's the truth. Jacob Peterson's in here, guys. If you're not subscribed to Jacob Peterson, definitely go check out his channel. He has a lot of good information out there, like I do. He honestly does the rants probably a little better than mine. I kind of have a tendency of going way off the deep end and getting into flat earth and Nephilim and all kinds of other crazy shit too. So Jacob Peterson, I think, can stay a little more concise than I can on some of the rants. So definitely check his channel out. I seen John with Heavyset Tactical hopped in here too. I was gonna try to go live with John, but it seemed like he was getting kind of busy. So, and I get it, we're all busy these days. So I think Jacob Peterson's just calling out a bully. The canola oil fake Italian guy. I don't even want to talk about him today. But actually, Jacob Peterson, while you're in here, if you want to kind of chime into the chat a little bit, let us know, like, what kind of things are you working on for preparedness this year? I kind of mentioned that I'm trying to consolidate family and stuff onto the farm so I could have more capable, able-bodied men on my farm and stuff, because I feel like having not only able-bodied men to help with farm stuff, but also having able-bodied men for security, protection, and stuff like that. And Jacob is also a veteran. He has actually more military experience than I do. I tell people straight up, I was just a Marine Infantry Reserve guy. I did about 8 years, but I was, reserve, and I was a mortar man. So I was just blowing shit up for the most part. You want milk, eggs, and meat. I want family together in one. Also, I want enough land to keep animals without them being seen from the road. Yeah, that is actually a very admirable goal. That is probably one security aspect that is a little lacking on my property. Is we are just like a couple miles from the interstate, so it's kind of what we got to deal with. But it's kind of hard to say no to family ground that's been in your family since the 1800s. And Jacob is on to something here. So he said meat will become illegal for the peasants. So a lot of people don't realize this. I want to kind of put something in perspective here, okay? The baby boomer billionaire pedophiles are pushing for meat to be banned for the common people. And they're like saying, oh, vegan this, vegan that, soy this, soy that, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to eat meat. It's bad for the environment, all that good shit. The truth of the matter is that's been done before. Okay, folks? That's all been done before. If you look into medieval times, there was a saying among the nobles that they would call the peasants the little people. And a lot of people don't realize what that means. Is they think like, oh, well, they were talking about the literal people because like they're just common people. And that's not what that meant. It actually was literal because the peasants were banned from eating meat. They didn't allow the peasants to eat meat. The peasants weren't allowed to hunt. They weren't allowed to keep any of their livestock that they, put all their hard work into. The meat was only for the nobility to eat. And so the nobility was legit a foot or more taller than the peasants, because the nobility had warrior type meat diet while the peasants had freaking subhuman slop to eat, basically. And that's what they want to create in a modern sense, but selling it to you by promoting vegan, soy, toxic, carcinogenic crap. Another thing to kind of look at, okay, go look at Xi Jinping of China. He's half a foot taller than Vladimir Putin when they stand next to each other. And so there's this stereotype like, oh, Asians are all small. No, Asians have been sold that they only need rice, they don't need meat. And so they have a peasant-like diet while Xi Jinping is eating steaks every night. And he's, a 6'4" freaking uber Asian dude. So just a little bit of thought out there of, before you start following the state-run television of maybe you shouldn't be listening to everything they say. And there's a reason why they're telling you not to eat meat is because they want you having a peasant-like diet. Let me tune into a little bit of the comments. I've been kind of ranting here. Oh, maybe planting some fast-growing weeds at the road. Yeah, we've been kind of thinking about trying to redo this whole road, but this whole road here that I kind of hike along is kind of a weird situation because, like, technically half of the road is our family and half of the road is another family's. And so then we're kind of like, whose job is it to take care of the road, essentially? And, Heavyset Tactical, Gabe, you, me, and Jacob, and Kenners this spring need to do an official confab on your compound down there. I agree. I would love to try to get, like, you guys out here to central Missouri and we'll do some overnights and some little tactical shoots and some tactical bushcraft type of stuff. I think that would be really cool. Well, exactly, Kenny. Exactly. And Davy Jones said, killing it on a Sunday. Yeah, thank you. I tried to get all my ranting energy out here. Another thing that I'm going to be preparing for this year is I got another little mini Huntsman on the way. We don't for sure know if it's going to be a boy or a girl, but I kind of have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be another little boy. I'm going to take this beanie off. I'm getting kind of hot. You guys can see my increasingly bald head coming in, I guess. I'm about really close to just start buzzing or shaving it all because I got the, it's just getting worse and worse. So, it's whatever. I one day will graduate to being a sexy bald man. That's what I'm looking forward to. And then at that point, I'm going to just like start hitting iron a lot even more, which I'm already starting to do. But, yeah, I might have to like try to jack up even more because that's something else I'm kind of working on is I've always been good about working out. I still have a six-pack. I still am very lean and stuff, which, most men that are close to 40 can't really say that very much. But, yeah, I try to avoid that HIMS stuff because that finasteride and minoxidil stuff has estrogen mimickers in it and it'll fuck you up in a different way. I'd rather be bald and masculine than have a full head of hair and feminine. That's just my opinion. But, and yeah, I don't know who, okay, oh yeah, Nami, I said on my Trump the Trojan Horse video, I got 2 videos of Trump the Trojan Horse, and I've pointed out that Trump is an Epstein acolyte just like the rest of them. And people who are so stupid to think that like Democrat this and Republican that, you're buying into it in their system one way or the other. It doesn't matter. They're all baby boomer billionaire pedophiles. That's all of them. It doesn't matter if it's Trump. It doesn't matter if it's Biden. They all, are involved with Epstein. That's why that whole list will never come out, because they'll be arresting themselves. And that list will never come out because, well, quite frankly, the synagogue of Satan, little shit stain over in the Middle East that everybody wants to worship, that country's involved with it up to their eyeballs. So, and, before people gets on here and like, God's chosen people, those people do not even follow the Torah, and their religion praises everything Jeffrey Epstein does. And that country holds Jeffrey Epstein as a hero. Just look it up. Israel holds Jeffrey Epstein as a hero. I've been doing the same thing for a while, just going on rants, shooting guns, and playing with big old knives and stuff on here. So nice to have you on here, Arkin, yeah. And just out here hiking around. And kind of the meaning for this post or this live is just kind of getting into things that I'm getting into this year for preparedness stuff. I kind of mentioned trying to breed next little generation freaking mini Huntsman into the world. I got one coming out any day. He or she is still kind of waiting on the 9-month loading screen, and then for the real life RPG, and then trying to consolidate family and stuff. I'm going to be really trying to, another thing me and my twin brother are going to really be trying to work on this year is my shooting range has been kind of shit, honestly. It's not what I want. So we're going to really be trying to ramp up our shooting range and start working on some more Rudy Tooty Pewty type of videos. And as much as I want to do like quote gun reviews, which I do want to do more of, I'd like to try to get more tactics and skill set type videos on too. And yeah, we have a range. It's just not what I'm wanting. Like I could come and be totally honest too, with my property out here, I could start pewing off in damn near every direction and still be fairly safe. So, you know, I can just come out to the woods and just start shooting too. Okay, just heads up, in Washington State, they are having a women's church day in church. That's right, no men on Women's Day. I mean, I don't know the church or anything like that. So, I mean, I think a lot of churches has kind of women's Bible studies and stuff like that. So, as you guys know, I get fairly religious on my channel, but I do not really... So it's basically what you're saying is it's kind of a degenerate GBT, LQ, PRS, Sodom and Gomorrah, probably end up being some tranny bullshit type of church. Got it. But yeah, so as I was saying, I do get fairly religious on my channel. I mean, what am I saying? Is on my channel on every video is, you know, be prepared both physically and spiritually, God bless, and carry on. But I don't really do the church thing. And it's not because I haven't done the church thing. I've bounced around church quite a bit, but I find that every church I go to is all damn near the same anymore. And I just cannot find one that, and I know deep down inside I'm never going to find one that I totally agree with. But at the same time, when I go to a church, even around here, and they all damn near have the same message, and they all have basically, there's not a cross anywhere around, there's no mention of Jesus anywhere around, but yet they praise the synagogue of Satan and have the Star of Remphan plastered everywhere and tell you that as a Christian, you're supposed to serve the synagogue of Satan people. I'm just not gonna go for it. You know, like it's disgusting, degenerate, and satanic. And you know, if you guys want to kind of delve down a rabbit hole, look into the Scofield Reference Bible. Look at how they infiltrated Christianity with Freemasonry and quote Judaism, and you guys will quickly learn how they completely destroyed Christianity here in the United States. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not down up in Washington State. I'm in the free state of Missouri, a relatively free state compared to a lot of others. I'm sure we're all going to be behind enemy lines before too long. So folks, get into the comments here. Tell me what kind of things you guys are preparing for in 2025. I'd like to kind of... I'd like to kind of see what you guys are saying. And, you know, you got the James Fear guy, we need less Christians. Well, hell, you know, yeah, my twin brother said it right. God bless you, James. And you know, here's the thing. You're getting your wish. You know, they're destroying Christians more and more and more. And you're going to have this Bolshevik, satanic shit dump of a country. And then they're going to genocide 60 million Christians like they did in Russia with the Bolshevik revolution. I'm sure you'll be part of that too, because that'll be real nice and liberal. You'll be just dragged through the freaking mud by your baby boomer billionaire pedophiles and be just groveling to them like, oh my God, my government masters, like fucking disgusting, degenerate shit. Oh, you know what? There's an awesome little button here, and degenerates like you get the block. I am living the life. I'm out here doing a live stream, talking with you guys, and I'm having fun and joking around. And it's what you do when you have retards in your comment section, is you make fun of them, tell them what they are, and you block them. See, like, here's the thing. I'm not going to sit there and argue with some loser in a comment section anymore. Like, I do not care, right? If you want to be a loser and be gay in the comment section, I don't really care. Get behind me, Satan, type of thing. I'll just tell you what you are and block you. And that's how it is. So be cool, and I'll be cool. You act retarded and gay, then, well, you'll get blocked. Well, you know, the feds are going to tell you, okay, so one guy asked, how do we know you're not fed? Well, you pretty well look up my whole channel and see who and what I am. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I pretty well air out all my laundry on here. The other thing is the feds are going to tell you, go join QAnon and praise be to Trump. And you know, you got to join one side or the other. The feds are going to tell you, hey, you got to have that $10,000 rifle or you're not good enough. You know, they're going to try to lead you in the most destructive and just crappy ass direction as possible. And I'm just telling you to break away and do your own thing. And be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless and carry on. So, you know, part of that's also kind of your own discernment. Honestly, I kind of find that I could spot the feds pretty easily. The Tim Kennedys and the Mike Glovers and the friggin' Black Rifle Coffee and Gay Brokeback Mountain or whatever it is. So, you know. No, I do agree, Paulie. I think there is going to be an Order 66 type of thing. I think it's going to be, I'm getting a little toasty. I kind of put on little extra layers. So it freaking went from like 70, dropped down to like 20s and 30s last night. And it still says it's like 50s out, but with the wind chill, it feels a lot colder. So I put on a couple extra layers, but kind of toasty now. I am kind of hiking around and stuff too. But back to your Order 66, Polly, I do think that they're going to try to pull something along those lines. But I think, and this is kind of my, you know, speculation. I have no like concrete evidence or anything like this, but I think they're going to try to pull a Bolshevik type of revolution here in the United States. And if you guys aren't unfamiliar with the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia in the early or late 1900s or teens and 20s and stuff, just go look it up. They managed to bring in hordes and hordes of people and then turn those hordes of people towards the towards the Russians, and they exterminated up what some people guess is up to 60 million Russian Christians. And, you know, if you notice, all the propaganda on the television always tells you, it's always, you know, white Christians, blah, 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 which, you know, I don't even want to make it racial, but that's what they themselves say. So, you know, you kind of gotta point it out when they do. Oh, I agree, heavy duty. The banks are one of the most evil institutions there ever was. I mean, if you guys are unfamiliar, go look into the Federal Reserve and the Federal Reserve Act and all that stuff. It doesn't matter if we wrangled up every single penny in the United States, we'd still never be able to pay off the debt because it's basically made up from nothing. Well, Matt, when you get off your ass and do a live stream, then, you know, we'll take you kind of seriously. But as long as you're chin jiggling behind a keyboard, then, you know, nobody really gives a shit what you gotta say. I will be the first to admit I am not the best speaker in the world. I just kind of ramble on and say what's on my mind and kind of say it the best I can. And that's it. Oh, he's upset. I'm talking about his baby boomer billionaire pedophiles, and he's kind of upset. He's like, oh my God, my government daddy gods are getting kind of criticized on here. Like, oh my God. He kind of triggered. It's all right. He can seethe with the triggering. He's probably dripping canola oil. Kind of like canola oil, Steve. Actually, here, Kenny, I'm gonna see if I can figure this out real quick. We're figuring this out right here. Add as moderator, Kenny. You are now a moderator, and Kenny, I think you can block people. So Kennard is my twin brother. I give him full authority to block any retard and degenerate I deem necessary. Are you guys getting out there and hiking, doing some stuff with the real things? I'm just out here kind of getting myself reacclimated to carrying gear and stuff and rambling on in all different directions. Huzzah! Yeah, that's exactly right, Kenny. And Kenny is putting a banhammer on people. I like it. Here's the thing. If you don't like what I have to say, you don't have to follow. You don't have to comment either. You can just, like... You guys don't have to follow me at all. Nobody's like holding you down and physically making you click like follow or watch the video. Kennard the moderator. Yep. Actually, you know what? John, I'm going to give you moderator status too. John is definitely... Yeah, that's perfect. John with Heavyset Tactical is also a moderator. Oh yeah, there's nothing like the beautiful outdoors. If you guys want to like really take a big chill pill and just kind of really like relax and enjoy things and go on rants out in the woods and block retards from your comment section, then get out in the woods and do it. Like, it's really nice. It honestly is. This is how I relax. I try to go on a hike every Sunday at least, and probably after my other kid is born, we'll be out here with the wife and kids and everything like that too. So John, so if you guys don't know, me and John's been talking quite a bit. We're pretty decent buddies. We talk on the phone quite a bit and stuff, but he's all the way up in PA. He's like damn near behind enemy lines, honestly. But I've been trying to like convince John to go buy some property down here in Missouri, or at least get him down here to come visit for a week or so. Like, I think that'd be cool. But I'd like to get John out here doing some run and gun drills and kind of come out to a little bushcraft camp and stuff like that. Hello from Norway, relaxing in my tent in the middle of a snowstorm. Norway is kind of one of those countries that I actually wouldn't mind to go visit, but I feel like Europe as a whole has kind of become a black hole, sadly. Alaska, I guess, is about as much like Norway as I'll probably ever get. Me and my twin brother both have some Scandinavian lineage. We're kind of mostly German, English, and Scandi kind of mix. But, oh, dead snake on the road. Little dead baby snake. But... actually, guy from Norway, you might check out my new knife. It's called the Eagle. Going to be made by Very Good Knife Company. Drops April 25th, and it is a kind of Viking, modernized kind of tactical Viking sax. So, what are you talking about, Matt? Oh. But yeah, one of these days I'd like to try to get John out here. And of course, as you guys know, I have made mention of it a few times now, but my twin brother will also be starting to work on content for the channel as well. And so if you don't see me and see him, then, you know, that's why, is because I'm going to be kind of busy with baby and stuff like that. And I'd like to have him start helping out as well for not only that time frame, but also when I'm producing content again, then I'd like to damn near double our content is what I'd like to try to do. I'd like to start having shorts on here. I'd like to kind of, you know, do all kinds of stuff. And Kenny might even, you know, drag his son onto here. And, Kenny might drag his son onto here and kind of do some adventures with him. I'm going to be dragging my son more on here. The last live stream I did, I brought my little son Gideon on here. He's not even 2 years old yet, but he likes to get out in the woods with his daddy. So, and, you know, that's something else to kind of really consider, you know, talking about this preparedness thing, is I see some guys kind of get caught up into this. And I kind of got caught up into it some too, is guys will be like, oh my God, like, SHTF and blah, blah, blah. But then they don't like think about and do like the day-to-day stuff and the building a family thing. And the truth of the matter is, we don't know when the, quote, apocalyptic SHTF situation is going to be. It could be 50 years from now for all we know. And so here's the thing, even if it's, you know, 20 years from now, I'd rather have a couple 20-year-old able-bodied boys running around helping my old ass out at that point than just with a bunch of guns and gear and shit stocked up and too old and shit to even really use them. And, you know, that was kind of something I was going to go into. I still got a good 15 minutes. But anyways, so, you know, something that I think people need to kind of really work on this year, and it costs absolutely no money. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need none of that crap. Is start getting into a little better physical shape. And I'm even talking to myself. I'm 6 foot tall and like 145 pounds. I'm tall and lean. And I want to try to build more muscle. Like, I can hike all day, I could run all day, I can do all that stuff. I'd like to try to get physically bigger, and it's something I've always struggled with. And I am an agility type of build type of guy, yeah. If you, honestly, guys, if you've ever looked into real infantry, you know, and Jacob Peterson, who was here earlier, he'll tell you the same thing. You know, movies in Hollywood will always try to portray infantry as like these big roided out bodybuilder guys. But if you go to a real Army or Marine infantry unit, most of the guys are like my size. They're all like, you know, 5'9" to 6 foot tall and like 150 pounds. And it's because those guys can equip a bunch of gear, grab a rifle, and hike for 20 freaking miles. Your big bodybuilder guys, they can't really do that. And some of those big bodybuilder guys too, something to kind of take note on is go put them in like a construction crew, and they kind of suck. And the reason why is because they have kind of fake blow-up muscles, and so it looks appealing, but it's not real strength, if that makes any sense. So, you know, kind of learn to differentiate between the two as well. Because, you know, you could take some of those infantry guys or like a construction worker and just have them go all damn day long. So